This is how I survived on just $2 for an entire day. With inflation hitting everyone's wallets, I wanted to see if it was still possible to eat for 24 hours on what amounts to pocket change. The challenge: 3 meals, 1 full day, and this single $2 bill. It felt daunting, almost impossible, but I was determined to try. My stomach was already rumbling with anticipation and a little bit of anxiety. Could I actually pull this off? My first and only stop was the grocery store, a place that suddenly felt like a high-stakes arena. Every cent mattered. I walked past the tempting displays of fresh fruit and artisanal bread, my eyes scanning for the lowest prices. My mission led me to the bulk bins and the less glamorous corners of the produce section. I carefully weighed a small scoop of red lentils, their price per pound making them a budget superstar. Next, I picked out a single humble potato, feeling its weight in my hand and calculating its cost. An onion joined my meager haul, promising to add a much-needed flavor boost. I felt like a hunter stalking the best deals. At the checkout, my heart pounded as the items were scanned. Lentils, 1 potato, 1 onion. The final bill came to $1.95. I exhaled in relief, clutching my 5 cents in change like a trophy. I had my supplies. Now I just had to make them last. Morning arrived, and the first meal of the day was breakfast. With my limited ingredients, the options were stark. I opted for a cup of black coffee. I used a small amount of instant coffee I already had at home, considering it a zero-cost staple like salt or water for the purpose of this challenge. The hot, bitter liquid wasn't a feast, but it was enough to wake me up and provide a semblance of a morning routine. It was a simple, no-frills start, a reminder of the strict limitations I was under. As midday approached, hunger began to set in for real. It was time for lunch, and the star of the show was the lentils. I cooked a portion of them with half of my onion, diced finely, and plenty of water. I let it simmer slowly, allowing the lentils to soften and the flavors to meld into a surprisingly hearty and fragrant soup. The aroma filled my small kitchen, making my stomach growl even louder. Each spoonful was warm, savory, and incredibly satisfying. It wasn't fancy, but it was a real, nourishing meal that filled me up and gave me the energy to face the rest of the afternoon. The lentil soup was a testament to how simple, cheap ingredients can be transformed into something truly comforting. I chopped up my single A potato and the other half of the onion. With a tiny bit of oil, another pantry staple I didn't factor into the cost. I pan-fried them until they were golden brown and crispy on the edges. The result was a simple potato and onion hash. The sizzle in the pan was music to my ears, and the rustic, savory flavor was deeply gratifying after a day of such strict budgeting. It was a modest dinner for sure, but it was warm, filling, and felt like a well-deserved reward for my thriftiness. As I ate, I felt a sense of accomplishment, having successfully created a third distinct meal from my tiny shopping haul. And that was it. 20-4 hours on $2. This challenge was about more than just finding cheap food. It was a profound lesson in resourcefulness, gratitude, and the true value of money. It forced me to be creative, to appreciate simple flavors, and to recognize how much I normally take for granted. It's a powerful reminder that with a little planning and a shift in perspective, it's possible to get by on far less than we think. This experience will definitely stick with me, changing the way I look at my grocery bill and every dollar I spend.